Now I would ask you guys to do the same circuit by doing an alternative. That is, suppose consider that this current is flowing from 4 volt. What would be the equation be? Take your time, pause the circuit or pause the video and write it by yourself. That is question. Please listen properly. I want to make 4 volt as hero. That means I want this I current to flow from 4 volt. Write the equation by yourself. I will write it as it is. Now we'll see how to write, but I will not explain it, guys. Okay. If you have done, look into the circuit which is shown on the video. This is how the circuit will be. That is, the current I flows like this, then the I here, then I here, I here. Right, this is what I asked you guys to do, and you're supposed to get the equation like this. Please check, guys. I'm not going to recite the entire thing. We have to do the next question. Check if you have written the same equation for this circuit. Right, let's move on to the problem, guys. Let's make the problem a little bit more complicated. Right, now this is your circuit. 10 ohm, 10 ohm, all of them are 10 ohm. Right, 10 volt. Okay, I'm having another supply 20 volt. So multiple supplies we are going to connect. This is 20 volt. So let's make it as C. This is F, E, A, B. Right. This much is clear. This is a circuit. Again, the same question. You are asked what is the current through each circuit. Sorry, each resistor. Here there are two circuits, or I can say two loops. So it is very important to understand. So at a time I will consider only one loop, then I will consider another loop, then you will get two equations. How many loops you are having, that many equations you would have. So hence I consider this loop, I will have a single equation like this. Similarly, when I consider this loop, I will have another equation. So I have to just solve these two equations. You will have two unknowns like that. Right, I'm just jumping, guys. Now, whenever you start a Kirchhoff's voltage law, we have to start with current, right? So current, see, here I am going to do with the practice section, because I have done a lot of equations or circuits like this. So I will find the most easiest way. But you guys can do by yourself also, right? So what would you do? You will find a hero, right? Once you consider this loop, you might consider one of the guy as a hero, etc. like this. See, these two are 20 volt guys, right? So I will consider, obviously both of them are repeated type, so I will consider these two of them are hero. As this current I will take it as I1, and this current I can take it as I2. You guys can do anything also. You can take 20 volt as only hero. You can make this I, right? Then it comes here point C, then it splits up. So this becomes I1 and this becomes I2. Now I1 flows like this, then it goes to this cell, then it goes like this. If you want, I can show. I will draw that, guys. I will make you understand what I am telling. Without drawing, I don't think you guys could understand here. That is, see, it is the first time you are doing this type of circuit, so it is understood that if you guys cannot split like this, you can go by a common sense. See, this is my 20 volt, right? What I am telling is, take this as hero I. He comes here I. This is a junction. Junction means there is a current splitting. So let's make it as I1 and I2. Clear? Now I1 goes here, right? Now I1 reaches here. By that time I2 would have reached here, right? So what is here? Current coming out should be the current which is entering also. So I giving or leaving 20 means I has to come inside 20, right? So this I is what? I1 plus I2, right? I1 plus I2 I. This is your Kirchhoff's current law. See, I is equal to I1 plus I2. So you can draw by this way, or I am going to do another way which is easier for me. That means this is your homework. If you are able to do it, well and good. I will try to do it or include it here in this video. Yeah, let's move on. Now I am going to take I1 as the current which is going to be supplied by 20 volt, and I2 is the current which is supplied by this 20 volt. So I1 is to be passing through this 10 ohm, clear, and I2 will be coming here, right, flowing right, and through 10 ohm it will be I1 plus I2. Clear? My circuit is completed. See, I1, so it is coming I1 plus I2. So here it would have splitted, right? So I1, why I am writing I1? once you are considering loop, the current leaving should coming back as same current itself, right? Current coming out, current coming same, current coming in. So I1, I2. This much clear? Right. Now we are going to solve the circuit, right? What I am going to consider this loop, that is let's consider loop A, B, C, F, P, right here. What? A, B. I want to consider this loop, right? I will not know. So it is BA, or you can say A, C, F, B, right? Write this, just form like that. A, C, F, B, A. Right? Clear? Now let's move on. How you are going to write the equation? I'm going in the same direction from negative to positive. Good thing. That means I write it as plus 20. Then I have reached here this resistor. I'm going the same direction as that of the current I1. That means it is minus 10 I1. That is IR. Right? Then I'm considering this loop only. So I reach 10 ohm. I am moving in the same direction of set of current, that is minus 10 into I1 plus I2. Then I reach the supply. I am moving from positive to negative, that is a negative thing. That is, so it will be minus 10, that is equal to 0. I am writing fast because I have experience, guys. You need not go by the same speed. You guys can pause it, write it by yourself, take your time and then cross check. Clear? Now this is a simple mathematics. Now it is what? 10. 20 minus 10 minus 10. Here. I1 plus, right, minus, right? Sorry. I1. So there are two I1s plus I2 is equal to 0. Right. Now let's move here. So 10 is equal to 10 into 2I1 plus I2. 10 cancels off, or I can say 2I1 plus I2 is equal to 1. Let's make it as a first equation. I told you, right? If there are two loops, there will be two equations. There are three loops. How many equations? 3 equations. Clear? Right. Now I'm going to consider another loop. This loop C, D, E, F, C. Let's take another time. I hope you understood which loop I am going to consider. This one. Right. So again, guys, let's start with the supply. I am moving in this direction. You can move in anti-clockwise. You can do it as a homework or to try if you want to try it out. You can move in anti-clockwise direction also. And say, suppose while solving this type of questions, you find the current as negative value. So you know the current can never be negative value, right? So that indicates that the direction you have taken is wrong. If you consider, suppose I consider that P to Q path I have taken and I found the current to be minus 2 ampere, means the current is not flowing from P to Q, it is actually flowing from Q to P. That is a common sense thing, guys. Okay, let's move on with the problem. Now this is the loop. Okay, I'm starting with the supply minus to plus 10 volt. Then I am moving in this direction, but the current is in opposite direction. So plus 10 I1 plus I2. Right. Then I am again moving in this direction, but the current is in opposite direction. So it is plus 10 I2. Then I am moving in this direction, positive to negative. This minus 20, and that everything is completed, that is equal to 0. Clear? Now guys, take your time. If you have time, you guys can solve this equation on what and all parameters is going to come up. So that means 10 and minus 20, that means minus 10 etc. goes, there will be 2I2. So there is I1 plus 2I2 is equal to 1. That will be the final equation. How it came up, I did the calculation in my mind itself. You guys can solve it by yourself itself. Clear? I wrote it like this. Right. Now what I have to do, I have two equations here. Right. One is this one, first equation, and this one, second equation. I'm going to solve it. So what would you do? This is just like x and y. So 2x plus y is equal to 1, or x plus 2y is equal to 1. Right. So see, By this time you can write it as I1 and I2 itself, but so that you guys can understand how to find it, I will make it as x. Let's make I1 as x and I2 as y. So what will be the first equation? It will be 2x plus what, y is equal to 1, and second equation will be x plus 2y is equal to 1. How would you solve it? You make anything common. So let's make or multiply this one as 2. This equation becomes 2x plus 4y is equal to 2. Right, now you can minus these two guys equations, this equation and this one. So 2x minus 2x will be 0, 4y minus y is equal to 3y, and 2 minus 1 is 1. I will get y is equal to 1 by 3. What is y? It is I2. So you get the I2 current as 1 by 3. So let's move on to the circuit, guys. What is I2? That is the supply current from the 20 volt, or I can say 10 ohm resistance, this 10 ohm resistance between C and D. That is 10 ohm resistance between C, D gets how many current? 1 by 3 ampere. You got one answer? Clear? Now if you got y, it is very easy to find x. I am going to write here itself. If y is 1 by 3, I am going to substitute here. So 2x plus 1 by 3 is equal to 1, or I will be 2x equal to 1 minus 1 by 3, or I will say 2 by 3, or x is equal to 1 by 3. That is I1. That is I1. That is across this 10 ohm resistance is also 1 by 3. That is 10 ohm resistance between AC is also 1 by 3 ampere. Right, now what is the current through 10 ohm? That is I1 plus I2. So 10 ohm between CF is I1 plus I2, that is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, that is 2 by 3 ampere. Sorry, this much should be clear while solving the problem, guys. Okay, now what you guys can do is, I told there is another way of drawing circuits. If you don't know the basics or it is very tough, what was it? This way. That is, you are splitting the current is from 20 volt supply, make or split it like this, and try to do the same method here and find if you are able to get the same values across these three resistors. You can to get. If you are not getting missed, there is some calculation mistake. Clear? Later in the next section we will do a little bit more complicated stuff, but by this time you guys would have understood how to solve this type of KVL or KCL type of complicated circuits. Clear?